Welcome to all the learners from Emeritus and Eruditus. We are here again for our guest lecture series by Career Services. I'm Sugandha and I will be moderating this session. If you have any questions during the presentations, please type them in the Q&A box. I'll bring them up at the end of the session. So for our guest today is Head of Brand Marketing at MG Motor, Mr. Milind Shah. Most 15 years old in 2003 was still playing in the streets of Bombay, but not Milind. He had just joined a daily basis promotional job for Cadbury Perk back in 2003, where his job was to stand in a group of people and shout out loud the brand slogan and distribute free Cadburys to audience and disappear. The only thing he enjoyed during this was making money, 175 rupees a day, and found his interest area brand storytelling. He is a marketing professional with nearly 17 years of experience in exponential marketing, brand management, and customer experience. Currently associated with MG Motor India, Morris Garages at EGM Head Brand Marketing, responsible for establishing the brand in India. So please join me in welcoming our guest, Mr. Milind Shah. The topic for today is how one can win the game. Mr. Shah, welcome, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Sugandha, for such a kind introduction. Well, this is one of my favorite topics, especially in a corporate world. How one can really win the game, and most of us would want to be the man of match, isn't it? Right? We all want to win the game, and we want to be man of the match in the current corporate world. First of all, good evening. While the journey continues in next half an hour, I will talk about myself also a little bit, but more interestingly, I'm going to talk about why you are here. The interesting topic is how one can win the game. So let's start with a session which is engaging. It should be a two-way conversation. I know most of you won't be able to talk, but there is a chat box which is open. So let's start with one interesting question. What is that one thing which all of us have in mind when we go to work, and to make sure we do our best? It is making money, it is hard work. So what is that one thing? Can you put your input in the chat box in front of you, and let's hear what you have to say. Results, passion, job satisfaction, earn livelihood, to be on top of workplace, enjoy, complete the day task, complete the target, and this goes on. That's correct. So I won't say what is right or what is wrong. All of these are part of our list. But the one thing which I would suggest everyone is to have is hunger. The most important thing is you want to win the game and you want to be the man of match. You need to always have hunger in you. Hunger to do best, hunger to be always on top, hunger to do something new. Let me give you a quick example of Virat Kohli. When Virat Kohli became a captain, before becoming the captain, he was doing very, very good, right? He was scoring, making good runs. He was on the top of the list. He was world famous batsman. What made him to start fitness? What is that? It's the hunger in him, to make sure he is always on top throughout. That's why he changed himself and started doing things which adds more value to his performance. So that's the most important thing all of us in this room is to have hunger in us. If you don't have this, all passion, hard work, whatever we do, achieve our daily target will be just a tick box. It will not add to your satisfaction. If you want your personal satisfaction, you need to have that hunger in you. Well, once you have this hunger in you to always do better and to be on top, what leads us to the second bit, which is to come out of your comfort zone. Well, you must be thinking most of the time people tell you, come out of your comfort zone. But how you can be motivated to do that? A, starting with, if you have hunger new to do something different, something new, automatically you will push yourself to come out of the comfort zone. And once you are out of the comfort zone, you will find many problems, you will find many opportunities, you will find many ways to solve the problem, also take the opportunity as well. So the most, you can say the second part of the, you can say the growing journey is to make sure you are out of your comfort zone. Well, you must have heard this in, most of the time. Yeah, come out of comfort zone, do things which is, pushing yourself. But once you come out of your comfort zone, what matters? The thing which matters most is, how you are differentiating yourself and how you are disrupting the overall category. Let me give you my personal example. At MG, it's again a four-wheeler brand. And if you talk about the four-wheeler in India market, people are more cared about what is the mileage, Maruti famous campaign, Kitna Deti Hai, and kind of a post-purchase, how much it will cost you. So when we saw the market, when we kind of did a little bit of dipstick in terms of how we can be different, how can we disrupt the overall four-wheeler category, and what is that customer is looking for. So obviously customer is looking for a good mileage, he's looking for a good product, but at the same time he's bored of overall, same boxy car, same traditional engine which gives you a decent mileage and a good enough experience, which is a post-purchase journey. So which put us to think more. If we have to launch in our country, which is a very challenging market, especially for a four-wheeler. You must have seen in past many companies have winded from our country. So how can we be a little different than others? The first thing which we thought about, the overall offering. So when we talk about overall offering, is we focus more on the disruption. Yes, the given is mileage, the given is value purchase, the given is space in the car. But the one thing which was really missing was in-car entertainment as well as the engagement with the vehicle. We studied a lot in our market, and most of the people spend a lot of time in four screens. We have four screens in our life. The first screen is right now it's your mobile phone. You spend maximum time on your mobile phone. The second screen is your laptop or a desktop. The third screen is television. The fourth screen, which by default you spend a lot of time, is your car screen. So infotainment in your car is your fourth screen in your life. I'm sure there will be many people who will be using more devices, but this is how our journey, or you can say in our daily routine, is bound with. So we thought, let's give more to our people and disrupt to this category, and let's focus more of inside the car rather than just making a boxy car or a bigger looking car from outside, which are the given factors. So we focus more on getting a technology, which is internet. So our first car, Hector, is an internet car, which automatically became a disruption in the category. So now, if you see every other car which is launching is a connected car. The connected world opens a lot of opportunities, right? Similarly, the list goes on with our next product. We always challenge ourselves to bring new technology. So we got internet, electric, autonomous, and now the Aster, which is with AI. So this is the most, I would say, a promising thing, which if you want to do and achieve, you can say, higher goals in life, to think differently, disrupt the category which is already then existing. In the list previously, I saw many people said, do the daily task. My friend, if we focus more on doing daily tasks, we will be that if you see the missing ladder, we will be stuck here only. We won't be able to jump on the higher ladder. So we'll have to push ourselves. We'll have to think more differently. I know it's easy to say, but trust me, this is a personal experience. I started my journey. I was very young. Like I started my journey when I was hardly 15. It's due to multiple reasons. I had a good time working in that age also. I started with a promotional job where I used to make 175 bucks a day, which is Sugandha already informed you about, the Cadbury Perk promotion. So ideally, it's a promotional job. It's not a bad job at all, but the fun part was during that age, I started enjoying it more because my goal was to make money. I was very clear that this is my age, my family needs it, I want to make money. Whatever job comes, I will take it in a better way and do things differently. I was rejected in multiple interviews because legally I'm not allowed to work. So this is a daily promotional job which I can do. And that time I didn't even had a mustache or a beard, so I used to look like a kid. But this first experience which helped me to understand like how one can really talk about the brand. It's very easy, but it's very challenging to showcase your brand in front of consumers. This is what I learned. But slowly that journey continued. I worked outside the wine shops as well. Selling alcohol. I worked in many other places. I worked in cafes, promoting alcohol. Then finally I got one job, which is in the event field itself. Once I started working, my personal task was to, I didn't had any educational background in terms of event industry. I just completed my, higher schools and, started work. So the initial challenge was to how I can keep myself equivalent to my colleagues, which are working in the same job because they had, better educational knowledge, like we say, and I had nothing. But the one thing I had really I was good about was the attitude and always a hunger in me to do something good to make sure when the time comes people judge me equally as they judge them. So I did really well in the world of events. There were many alcohol brand as well as lifestyle brand launched during that time. I worked there for 5 to 6 years. Then I thought of I want to make a change in my journey. It wasn't easy because my education was very basic, and B, all of a sudden how do you plan to switch your career from event world to corporate world. I did a lot of you can say personal studies, going to website, going to online, studies different things, started reading a lot of articles which helped me to build how to tell your story smartly. Then while one of my clients that time was Harley Davidson, they saw like the way I do things is really different, and I had that passion and hunger in me to always do better and better. So very soon I got a offer. Why don't you join this side of the table? It always has catered us from the other side of the table. Might as well join us on this side. So I joined Harley back in 2010. Very early days of Harley in India. We, in fact, it was a very small team. A team of total, I would say, 25 to 30 people, and the marketing team was a 4-people team during early days. And 4 people means you have a lot of opportunity with you. So was this clear now?
Little better if possible to increase it a bit.
Sure. Better now?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, in early days of Harley, it was, you can say, 5 of us. the only thing which all four to five of us we had in mind is we want to make sure this lifestyle of leisure motorcycling is established in our country. We had that hunger, and we always thought of how do we make a motorcycling a passion. It was already there. It was not something new. Enfield was doing it, but it was not that common between, you can say, any motorcyclist. So soon we challenged ourselves, came with new initiatives, and got the brand up. And I have to say that we did a fairly good job, because at least during that era, Harley was doing fantastic. It was the number one seller about 600cc motorcycles. And till date, the brand, anyways, we don't have to build a brand. The brand has a strong, you can say, presence across the world. The one attitude which all of us, I won't say not only me, but the complete company had, is we never work for our, you can say, to make our boss happy. We always work to do something better for the brand, better for the company, and not to impress your next reporting. This is where most of us we get trapped and restrict ourselves. It's, if my boss is happy, that means I'm doing a good or a great job. This is where we need to think as an individual and challenge ourselves. Yes, if my boss is happy, that's great. But how do I make sure I contribute to overall brand value? So if you work to any company down the line and any organization, every company, every brand has a market value. In terms of consumer perception, thinking, positioning, which really matters. So till the time you don't end up contributing in that, and I'm not talking about a small contribution or a big contribution, any contribution which uplifts your brand image is a good contribution. So we always focus in doing that bit. How do we? Today I'm wearing an MG logo. I don't think many of you are able to see. So we always work here to make sure this logo has that brand love in the market. So whatever we do, this is my suggestion also to all of you as well. Whatever you do down the line, don't just think of making your boss happy. Think of contributing to the higher business goals. Well, going back to my previous two slides and adding to this, once you have hunger in you, and if you think differently, which is disruption and differentiation, automatically stress will come in your life. But this is where you need to be more smarter. You need to manage yourself well. Because unless you make stress as your friend, you won't be able to win this game. The stress has to be your best friend. And once stress becomes your best friend, trust me, you will have peaceful sleep. And you will see results, which is, at your workplace as well as in your personal life. Well, now you must be thinking, how do I make stress as my friend? Is it better now? I can see a comment which I'm not audible. Am I loud now? Sugandha, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, it's the voice is getting a little low in between.
Okay, better?
Yeah.
Okay. So the most important part of your daily life is, first thing is fitness. Adding to how you can make stress your best friend is, you need to make sure you yourself is mentally fit. Physically fitness, yes, due to schedule you might find it challenging, but make sure you spend minimum 30 minutes in a day to keep yourself fit. How you can do that? Just take a walk. No one is asking you to join CrossFit or become a pro trainer. Do a walk, do running, just do yoga, do anything. Spend 30 minutes on yourself, which is a good thing also. If you're physically fit, you will be mentally fit as well. And with the passion and hunger in you, your body has to keep be up to date and manage the overall stress as well as your mind. Fitness will not only make you physically enable you to do things differently, but unless and until your mind is not fresh, you won't be able to think differently. So a personal suggestion: spend half an hour a day minimum on yourself, doing things to make you physically fit. Now, this is the most interesting slide, I would say. In our corporate world, or in our, you can say, any gossip is a biggest thing, and many people think they are ये problem है, वो problem है, ये company ऐसी है, ये environment ऐसा है. Many people start raving about a lot of problems. So the one thing which you should be, yes, it's a human behavior, yes. All of us will start, either saying yes, or agree with the person who even says कि ये company में तो ये problem है, वो problem है. It's good to, you can say, put everything out, but it's bad to take it back in your mind or in your heart. So if you notice something which is not right, or you think which is can be better, you have to become that. The one thing which any organization will start observing you as an individual is, what are your capabilities to solve a problem. Trust me, this will help you not only in your own work, but the moment organizations will start noticing that this person has first of all a passion towards whatever he does. He has a hunger to do always good, and at the same time, whatever problem comes, he manages smartly and he solves it. Companies see the potential of an individual, and this is when many people start getting, you can say, a vertical switch. If you are in a marketing and doing a great job, most of the time, what you get a promotion, and you're happy. But there will be a stage in life when the promotional ladder will be stagnant. And this is the time when most of the companies think of that individual. What is his potential? Within his vertical, he is doing good. But what if we pick him up and put him into a different vertical? He will be as good as that? So this is where this concern, or we can say this topic comes in play. If the person is a problem solver, for sure, he becomes in top consideration in an organization to make or to give him a switch from current vertical to another vertical. So whatever problems, I'm not talking about the only gossips or company में आता है वो नहीं. The problem has a business problems as well, which is not concerned only to your vertical, but as a company as a whole. If you start observing or getting to know the problem, what you should do is discuss that problem immediately with your reportee or immediately with your team, and see what solution you can bring down on the table. We do in our marketing team at NG. What we do is whenever there is a new project which has been launched, or a new product which has been launched, we make one cross-function team, and we try to huddle and try to openly put out things which may be not concerned, like I am from marketing, but which may be not concerned from marketing. We just discuss about sales sometimes, we might discuss about upskill. This helps you to understand the problem. And once you know the problem, your mind starts thinking about, okay, what consumer will like if we do this. That means you have started thinking about solution. So you have to be the problem solver and not the the problem creator. The important part in your overall, you can say, career journey is nurture your work relation, which does not mean like you need to have a good relation with your boss. No. Uh, Understand the working atmosphere. This working universe, the the more we think, is not that big. It is a fairly small world. Uh, the team you are working with, and not only with your team, the partners you are working with, the vendors you are working with, the agencies you are working with, are more or less going to be the same. There are a handful of agencies who work on digital. There are a handful of agencies who work on events. There are a handful of agencies who work on creative. Some or the other day, you're going to interact with them in your career, right? So when I say nurture your work relationship, it is not restricted within your team. That is for sure. It is the important one. But your relationship with your vendor, partners, agencies, whoever you interact in terms of business, just make sure you're fairly in connect with those people down the line, and always thinking to do things differently. Well, that leads to a very important part, which is uh, build your professional reputation very strong. Uh, well, as it's not that difficult, as well as it's very easy to spoil it as well. But what you need to do is you need to have a fine balance between a professional life and a personal life. Uh, the people who you are connected professionally has to have a certain restrictions where they don't get to know everything about you, what you do in your personal life. Uh, Remember one thing: uh, you are in a professional world. You are not just representing yourself; you are representing the company you are attached to. Myself, uh, I may not be only representing myself to you. Somehow, back in the mind, you all must be thinking, okay, he is working at him, so you have that image of the brand as well. So it is my responsibility to protect MG's image in front of all of you. Similarly, the same thing goes for myself. Whatever I talk or whatever I do outside with the people who I connected professionally, it's very, very important to build my reputation in terms of how I behave, how I talk, what do I do, how professional I am. If this borderline is in, you can say, it's a very thin line. The moment I break that, tomorrow, some way or the other, people will start talking about myself or someone else. Like, yeah, he's good at work, but by nature he's not that great. By in personal life, he's not able to do this. The gossip starts, and it does not spoil your image in front of the individual, but also spoil the company or the brand you are associated with. There are multiple ways to build your professional reputation. Uh, LinkedIn is the best example. Uh, Always remember, no one is a small contributor. Everyone is a good contributor. Any company you work with, be proud to share with your network on LinkedIn. There is no shy. This is not only a leadership job. It is each and every individual job who is working with this company to make sure whatever good work you guys are doing, to let the world know. This is how you will build credibility in market, as well as people will start knowing you. And LinkedIn is not the only one platform. There are many other platforms. We can go to multiple forums and talk about what great work you guys are doing. What is the culture? Krishna, hope I'm audible very clearly now. Sugandha, or is it clear now, or okay?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
So it's very, very important for you to make sure your reputation is protected both within the company, outside the company, in the professional network. Well, it is very easy to say all of this. Everyone can become expert unless, you know, muffled at times. My voice is clear, right now?
So it's coming fine. It's just that in between it just gets really low.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you
Let me
can
switch
come
to,
closer to the mic, maybe that'll be great.
yeah. Let me switch to one location. Uh, so the most important part in your professional life is, first of all, to know your stuff in and out. You know what you are doing, what you are hired for, what additional things you can do. You need to become expert in your domain. And trust me, this is a never-ending journey. Uh, the changes which are happening is it's very, very fast. The moment you predict one situation, all of a sudden that situation changes into something else. So it is very important for an individual to know the basics of your job, what you are supposed to do, what your industry is doing, and make sure what new challenges are going to come. The one important thing which you can do in your journey is when you start to read more about what's going to happen in your you can say industry or segment wherever you are working. So more you spend time in predicting things, it will help you more to you can say be prepared for the new challenges which are going to come towards you. So what we do in our daily life also, we work on our daily basis tasks, but at the same time we have an eye for minimum next 2 years. What as a company we want to do, what as a brand we want to do, and as an individual myself also, I see myself down the line 2 years what I want to do. That's why studies are one of the most important things. You need to make sure you keep adding more and more courses, and more than courses, more and more education to your individual profile, which will not only help you to get best at what you do currently, but also prepare yourself for the future challenging times. And the second most important thing which you can think of is start reading more about what's going to happen in your industry, segment, or business, which will help you to predict and plan for the future. We hope you are good at time, Sugandha. So this is my last slide. I would say it's never too late. It's never late for anything. I won't talk about to start over, but it's never late to challenge yourself, do things differently, and become better as an individual in your professional life as well as personal life. So the more we think, we always think of, no, I'll do sometime next year. There is never next year. So whatever thought comes in your mind, start putting down into a note or a piece of paper, or many of us we use fancy mobiles. So in mobiles there is a note section. So start putting whatever thought comes in your mind in that note. Today or tomorrow, you intend to forget things which you have thought of. These notes are going to help you to think once again on what you want to do. Obviously, this is an evolving journey. Whatever your thought today might change tomorrow. Yeah, the floor is open for questions, Prakash. You have raised hand. Please, you can ask me questions. The floor is open for questions.
Hi Prakash, you can type your question in the Q&A box.
Yeah. So first example of notes. So I keep multiple notes. I keep my professional notes. So whenever we thought of a new campaign or a new product or a new any event or new activity, what I do is just before the sleep I spend 10 odd minutes thinking about that, and some of the other many times I get an idea, I quickly pen down. Uh, we were just thinking about the Esther launch, uh, which just happened 2 days back, and we were just thinking how do we bring this to life. The one thought came in, we want to do a tech forum, a forum where we just unveil the tech first to the user, and then and not show the product at all. So we didn't show the car. The first activity which we did was just showcasing what is the new tech inside the car without even showing the car, and that's how we unveiled the AI inside the car. That was the first one. The second note which I prepare is of my personal life. Many times I think of doing, I want to go motorcycling, I want to go for a holiday, I want to, do study. So currently I'm studying with IIM Lucknow. I'm doing my marketing strategy course. So, I pinned it down saying that, this course, I want to do it this year, and made it. Hope that answers your question. Let me see the first question.
I'll just ask the other question. It's one second. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
so Nitin is asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nitin is asking, come off comfort zone. Does it means changing profile or do something different in profile we are?
Interesting question, Nitin. See, now, first of all, you need to observe yourself. Unless you are not doing things differently within your current profile, how as an organization I would see that you are ready to to move into another vertical. See, moving to another vertical can be two ways. One is the promotion side, like you are doing fantastic and great at your current role. You're doing so good that I want to use your experience and put into another vertical to make that vertical better. Another way to look at into this is you're not doing that great in your current role, so that you're not performing. So let me pull you out from marketing and put you into sales. You might do better there. So if you want to go on a better side, which is you're doing great at your current role, so you have to push yourself in the current profile first. The moment you start doing things differently, then organization will see you. Yeah, you are one candidate which I need to pick it up and put into another vertical to bring changes or bring innovation in that current vertical.
Great. So Neeraj is asking, in new job, do we can pick company or boss? Which one is best option for individual growth, or not both? Something else? I mean, please advise.
See, my friend, you don't have choice to pick your boss. If that was a choice you had, you are the lucky one to to take that opportunity. Most of the cases, you don't get choice to pick your boss. You always have to think of what vertical or what work you want to do. What is your interest or what is your passion? Many times you don't meet interest and passion, but at the same time you need to find a fine balance. Suppose my passion is riding a motorcycle or going on a long drive. Then I may into a wrong industry. But what I need to do a fine balance is, suppose I'm working at one of the chemists as a medical, at one of the medical store, and my passion is to ride a motorcycle. I need to make sure every weekend I enjoy my time. If I don't find that fine balance, neither, even if you have a great boss who you have selected, or you should have, it is your great work, it is your selection, you have made a selection, you won't end up being happy. Staying happy is a fine balance of your interest and what you do at work.
Okay. Ankur is asking, MG rose in India at a time when automobile industry was on a low. Cars is a noisy market. How were you able to make your potential buyers listen and make them ready to pay?
So the one of these things which I covered in my initial slide also, which is disrupt and differentiation. The auto industry is all about a size or a engine, but for us as an automaker, that is by default, right? Like it's like going to the restaurant and asking them, just give us the food. From a consumer mindset, this is basic. I'm coming to a restaurant for sure, and I'm asking for a food. I'm not going to ask you for your napkins, right? So what we started doing is we started understanding what consumer is at the end looking for. He's looking for an experience. He's looking for an extension of his personality. Many people just don't buy vehicles to just for the sake of it. Many people think it's an extension of their personality. So we got a lot of technology inside our car, which not only helps us to differentiate ourselves in the market, but also at the same time giving a value-added service to our consumers. So our first car is the Hector, is the internet car. As Indian consumer, we love the sunroof. So it comes with a panoramic sunroof, and on top, it has a voice command which helps you to open the sunroof without even pressing any button. By the voice command, you open the sunroof. Similarly, all our products are something or the different in tech itself. Our second product is electric, third is autonomous, and the fourth is you can say AI. This is helping us in overall, you can say, the four-wheeler category. Not a single brand till date, like I'm talking about the biggest brand also, Maruti, Hyundai, have any, I would say internet is now common, but they don't have autonomous, they don't have AI. Electric people have started moving up. So a differentiation is most important thing which is helping us to grow in the market.
Okay. Prakash is asking, so he's 62 years old. When I was 33, my son had cancer and we had to fight it for 10 years. We lost him eventually. In the process, because of the money required, I had to leave a very promising career and move to Africa. Today, I feel there is a lot I could have achieved and I want to do it now. What is your advice? I am having my small business now.
Prakash, first of all, sorry to hear that, but all the best. See, your hunger and your attitude will help us to do more. And the moment, see, this is the only thing which will help you to grow. Age is no bar. You have seen many people at the age of 50 or 60, they have done their own startup and now playing in millions. Like DMart is the pure example in front of you. So keep the age aside. Just focus more on your hunger and your passion. You already have that. The more you think of at this age, that itself shows that you have that hunger in you. So just focus more on reading few things which is part of your industry, which will help you to find something or the other. And second part, which I will let you know, Prakash, think of differentiation. Don't become another one to, suppose if you're in a business of lollipop, just don't become another vendor to sell lollipop. Think how you can sell that lollipop with giving differentiated experience to the end consumer. That will make you, more successful.
Great. So Raghavendra is asking, with respect to taking risk in our workplace and in a profession, how much is too much?
Nothing is too much. You need to always take a risk. I took a risk long back when I was just, I was 23. I was really doing great in the event space, and I was able to make good money via salary, and I was getting a good growth. And I'm born and brought up in Bombay, by the way. And at the age of 23, my family is in Bombay still now. At the age of 23, I got a opportunity to move to Delhi. And many times I have traveled before coming to north side of the country, and I used to not like that much, but that's where you need to take that risk of, let me try. If you don't take risk, if you don't try, you will be always in a state of regret. When I say state of regret, you will always think, oh shit, I wish I would have done that. I would have, taken that off. There is no option of going back and redoing. Might as well take a risk. If it's not right, you still have opportunity to do things right? But if you have missed the opportunity, there is nothing.
Right. Francis is asking, how do we allocate time, effort so that our current goals and future goals developmental, and how do we track them?
Unless I know in this, at least this session, between all the participants, no one is Ambani. If Ambani is able to manage time for himself, we are very small players. My friend, you need to make sure you have your routine at the right place. If you start following the routine, you will start seeing even the world around you, which is the things which you do around you, the people around you. You start adopting your routine, right? So you need to make sure, if you want to take time out for your fitness, make sure you do it. Even if you have to get up at 4 a.m. That's where you don't have to compromise. If you start compromising in that area, then it's a gone opportunity. Similarly for education, between all of that, you need to make sure you take even 1 hour a day. Or I think most of the educations now are so flexible that you need hardly 3 to 4 hours in a week. Right? It's not a big deal. You can watch a little bit lesser Netflix episode and might as well spend time here. If you do right now, it will help for your better future.
Okay, so we have a couple of similar questions. Ruchi is asking, if I want to restart my career, what are the qualities one must have? And the similar question is from one person also who's she quit the job in bank, want to join digital marketing world, and after 1.5 years sabbatical maternity break, but it's so hard to convince HR moving from banking and justifying the experience. So should they start as a fresher? And he has 5 years of experience, including the break. My sole purpose of joining the course at Emeritus.
So the two things which will help you. That is just from a personal knowledge I'm sharing with you. First thing is know what exactly is digital marketing. I'm sure you're studying, so you will have all the equipment and materials to make yourself equipped with more knowledge in digital world, right? So first thing is get your basics right in digital world. Second, go with no restriction. Go with that positive attitude of, yes, you have the hunger to do good in digital space. Your attitude, to do something great in digital space will automatically make that HR person to think, or even that person is changing the field, coming from a different, but he or she has a good knowledge of the vertical which he wants to or she wants to join. So if you go with the fear that, no, I'm coming with a 5 years break or a 10 years break, and then you start giving your interview or you start talking to people, you will always have that worry back of your mind. It's like a cricketer, right? If you go with a care point where that bowler will give me a bouncer, obviously he understands your fear on your face, right? And he will give you a bouncer. That's his job, to make sure you get out. So this is what you need to do. You need to go with a right attitude, with a good knowledge of digital space, and a hunger that you are here to value add to the organization you're going to join. And how you can do it by doing X, Y, Z things in the digital world. If you're able to convince that, for sure HR won't think about 5 years.
So there are a lot of questions regarding MG market. How did they gain the market in India, or what were the challenges? because the Kia was also coming at the same time almost. So there are a lot of questions regarding that. Would you just like to cater a general perspective on that?
Yeah. So let me just give you. I'll repeat myself a little bit also from past what I said. Every organization or every brand has a certain objective and a goal in terms of positioning themselves in the market. When we started our journey in India, our intention were very clear. We want to be different than any other automobile player in our country. When I say different, is not for the sake of you know being different. People say, "हाँ तुम different तो हो, तुम किया नहीं हो, तुम MG हो." So different in terms of what we want to offer to our customers. Right. So the first thing we wanted to do is position ourselves differently than any of the automobile players. So first of all, what we as an NG did is we created a platform of technology. So one of our brand key pillars. So our brand is supported by 4 pillars: innovation, experience, diversity, and technology. So innovation at forefront. Whatever we do, we have to make sure we are top in the game. When I say top in the game, our product first of all. Each product are a new innovation within the automobile space. I'll repeat that. It's the first internet car which we got in our country. Gloucester, again, it is the first autonomous car. Many of us have just heard about the autonomous technology, but everyone thought, oh, that will come in India after 10 odd years. So it's not 10 odd years. The moment we as a brand, as an auto tech brand, if we don't bring technology, ecosystem will never grow. So we got the technology as our front 4 pillar to play and get consumers what they deserve. So our second product, which was ZS, it's an electric, full-fledged 100% electric car. Many of us still have a worry, where do we charge this electric car? So we came with 5-way charging solution. With every electric car we sell, we are making sure we are installing charger at your convenience place, which is either at your home, near the parking area, or in your office. So one thing is that. Second, we start being tied with multiple third-party vendors, Delta, XCom, and everything, to make a public infrastructure. Third, we have installed multiple chargers at our location, where you can just go have a coffee and your battery will be 100% charged. It is like say 1 hour at a max. So what is helping us as a brand is 2 important things, which is part of our brand pillar. Which is one is innovation, which is we see in all our products. At the same time, whatever we do for consumers, we make sure is different in terms of ownership packages. We are the first manufacturer to give warranty for 5 years. Earlier it was 2 years and 3 years. We came with when we got Hector launch, we came a warranty package of 5 years. Because if your product is solid, why you're worried of giving a warranty to consumer, right? And that's the biggest worry all of us have. So we worked on that. Second, another pillar if we have to talk about is the community. We focus a lot in building a community. So, hello?
Yes, you're audible.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, okay. Community. So in fact, last, I would say almost 2 years, we did so many initiatives to help our community. So we came with a program called MG Seva. So we have started one new vertical within our company, which is called MG Seva. Last year we saw the challenge of COVID. Being an automaker, we thought, why not take this challenge up and build ventilators? So in our plant, when there was a lockdown and everything, there was a team overnight thinking about how do we start making ventilators in our plant. So we are happy to say that we tied up with one of the local vendor in Vadodara who was producing around say 20 ventilators in a month. With our technical team in France and with his resources, we started manufacturing. And in a month, we manufactured 300 ventilators. So from 20, we moved to 300. This is one of the initiatives. We have done 100 more initiatives to make sure a community is fighting the challenge, the problem we had together. So as a brand, our focus were very clear. We want to be friends in bad times with our consumer or customer. So that was our clear agenda. And having a good leadership also makes a very important you can say proposition when you talk to customers or consumer and to position our brand. Our leadership at MG is very, very clear in terms of how we want to do the business. We want to do a fair business, and at the same time, we want to take care of friends. And when I say friends, it's customer, partners, vendors, everyone.
Sounds good. So it's a question on leadership. In a leadership role, how much priority should we give to functional competence in comparison to management skill?
So see, both of them is important and both of them is waste as well. See, if I have a great degree with myself, right, one of the biggest institutes, I come with top ranking and all of that, but I don't have any hunger in me. I'm here to make sure with my good certificate, I get a good salary. I go to work at 9:30, my laptop is on, and at 5:30, I'm out of office. I respond to emails which come to my mailbox, and I become one of the a task master. I get 10 tasks, I've done tick box in all the tasks, and my day is done. I go out, right? I go out with attitude, I'm a top educated person with a top ranking, and I've done my task which was given to me. It's your waste. You're wasting your degree. Might as well I would hire someone who have a hunger to learn, to do things differently. I would love to have a person who is not even a graduate but who comes with the attitude that I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I will do this. Have that hunger and attitude, and who is ready to, willing to go extra mile apart from his task list, his or her task list, with the right spirit. For sure, management will look to hire that person.
Great. So let's take up the last question for the day. Mohammed is asking, how do you convince your team that the idea you're proposing is the best solution?
First of all, you don't have to convince your team. And then you're hitting the fall on the wrong direction. You need to make sure whenever you're presenting your idea, you as a presenter give an overall scenario. Like you need to give a background. What is the problem space? What is the solution? What is the idea you're coming up with? And the important part over here is to ready to accept and listen the challenges your team will throw to you. Calmly think about it. Many of the answers of that question will be there in your idea. But most of the time, we do a mistake by thinking, my idea is fantastic. Why that person is asking me this or that? Can't you see it's already there in idea? See, as a team player, you have to always think of one thing. You don't have to convince them. You have to propose your idea with a proper data, right? A proper problem state and a solution. Then automatically people will start understanding what is your idea, and at the same time accept what are the questions comes to you. And right presence of mind is very important during this time. and how smartly you give back your answer will help you win the game. I won't say you have to go and convince someone like this is a great idea to take this, it will give this much value. No, the moment you put your problem state or a background very clearly with the solution you are coming up and give answers very clearly to the question which has been pitched to you with a clear number or a clear data, I don't think should be a challenge.
Right. Great. So thank you so much, Milind, for the informative session and the inspiring session today. And thanks for taking out the time as well. I am sure it will help a lot of our learners. And thanks to all the learners as well for attending this session and for your questions. And we will see you again next week. Stay safe, everyone, and have a happy weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.